Larry Fink and BlackRock giving us the exact blueprint on where they are taking this economy. Now, remember, Larry Fink, I'm going to repeat the same things over and over again, told you that it was a pet rock, didn't believe in it. 2023, they flipped. Remember, when you look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. And now he said multiple times, when you're worried about the debasement of your country's currency, Bitcoin is a good option. He is now the number 2 holder in Bitcoin in the world. And now we're going to watch a video. It's going to be about a 4-minute video. He's sitting with the leader of Citadel, which Ripple just did some business with Citadel. And they're going to talk about the overall market and where we think it's going. On my channel, this is not get rich quick. This is discipline, consistency, no hopium, and building structure. So over the next 10 years, you can be on the right side of this interest quadrant. There's only debt in the system. You're either on the asset side or you're on the debt side. There's a winner and there's a loser. That's how the monetary system always has been. This is not different this time. There'll be waves of energy. It goes up and it'll come crashing down. There will be more black swans. First they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, join it, Draper. Okay, problem, reaction, solution. The traditional system is going to come aboard on cryptocurrency. It's going to be based on institutional custody, protection, exchanges collapsing, being liquidated, not being able to trade back and forth because they have liquidity issues. It's going to be the commercials. That will be the marketing narrative. So let's dive right in. So we're going to watch this video first. On the back of every video, I share with you exactly what I am doing. So check this out. So this is BlackRock, Larry Fink, and Citadel's Ken Griffin discuss global markets.
Less rational, and then how would investor see this and navigate this? And everybody's worried about missing the opportunity, missing the big boom. But again, the valuation, the amount of investment is really mind-boggling. What do you think? Crypto, AI, and all that?
Well, I think markets tend to be most irrational in their extremes, in the heights of a bull market and in the depths of a bear market. And right now we are very deep into a bull market in many of the major economies around the world. There's a sense that very little can go wrong, and there's great enthusiasm amongst investors. So in some sense, your speculative fevers, your FOMO, fear of missing out, will from time to time triumph common sense. And regretfully, humans will exhibit the same behavior in a bear market. They'll tend to panic out of very good investments at the very wrong moment. These are the behaviors that we as people have. And again, they tend to be exempt or magnified at the 2 extremes of the market cycle.
Okay. Now, I turn back to Larry. We just mentioned briefly about the hype about crypto and all of that. I know BlackRock and you have some view about crypto, but you're really into tokenization, and you feel that tokenization has the future. How do you link the two, and how do you see tokenization being something that might rewrite the kind of rules for financial markets and financial transactions going forward?
So most of BlackRock's business is a business of hope. You know, why would Earth anybody invest for a 30-year outcome like retirement unless you're hopeful that in 30 years the outcome is better than keeping your money in a bank account? And so I look at everything we do is around giving hope. And I do believe hope prevails in most circumstances. You know, if you go back to even the year 2000, and you invested in equities, let's say the S&P, and then there was a 40% downdraft in 2001. But if you invested in equities in 2000 and kept it until today, your compounded return would be about 8%. So despite the financial crisis, despite the dot-com boom, despite COVID, and if you kept your money in a bank account, you would earn 1%. So I just start with that framework that most of the foundation of BlackRock is to try to give hope to people about the ability to invest over a long horizon. And I am an optimist that I do believe all the noise and all the ugliness we read, we actually mitigate most of it as human beings. And I do believe over a long period of time, hope prevails. Now, that being said, there is a role for gold and there's a role for Bitcoin, which I believe are assets of fear. You own these instruments if you're frightened of the debasement of your currency. You own it if you have financial insecurities, or you own it if you have physical insecurities and worries. So that's one of the foundational issues of my journey in understanding crypto more.
Okay, we'll just leave it there. They go deep into this. You have to understand that the elites now are using Bitcoin like gold, as there's a massive transition in your financial system, okay? You gotta study Trump, history, Reaganomics. In the Academy today, I'm going to be going over Reaganomics on the generational wealth building call, okay? We're going into Reaganomics type economy. They're going to lower interest rates. I'm going to keep saying the same thing, and they're going to print a ton of money debasing your currency. And these wealthy people understand what Trump's about to do. Gold's going to go through the roof. Silver's going to go through the roof. Bitcoin's going to go through the roof. But what happens is, as the first gentleman from Citadel said, is we are FOMOing in, we're FOMOing out. You got to build a strict plan, guys. You got to get out of the hopium. You got to get into fundamental investments that are going to be here when all the dust settles. So Ripple announces $500 million strategic investment led by Fortress and Citadel Securities, valuing the company at $40 billion following record growth. Just keeps coming, family. Just in, same thing for strategic investment with 40 billion valuation. I mean, Ripple is just dominating with these announcements, guys. Okay, so here's what the market looks like. Okay, the fear and greed index is through the roof. We've gone down to 3.4 trillion in market cap. BTC's at 60%. Guys, it's going to be a bumpy ass road, man. Put on your helmet, grab onto that bull, and hold on. That's why I created Capital DR. We love red. We love red. I mean, I never thought that, when we had the 1010 crash, I was like, wow, I never thought I'd get XRP under $2. So I have a strict plan. I dollar cost average every day into assets that I believe are going to be opposite of the debasement of the US dollar. Okay. So what I do is I focus on cash flow. I created cash flowing businesses over the past. So I've been at this since 2017, right? I started to, when I had big profits, I diversified. I have businesses in information technology, attention, and financial services. As those companies made more money, I didn't buy Lambos, Ferraris, and big houses. What I did is I invested in more cash flow. I created dividends. I didn't create dividends. I invested in companies that paid dividends that gave me more cash flow. So my cash flow became more cash flow. That cash flow flows into assets. I use assets that have fixed supplies that beat inflation. I don't know what you want to use, but I use XRP and Bitcoin. I have a little bit of silver. I'm going to start accumulating more silver. I use XRP and Bitcoin specifically because they're deflationary. They have fixed supplies. Bitcoin has 21 million. It's one of the most scarce assets in the world. 450 a day is mined, and treasury companies are buying 1,700 a day. So it makes sense to me. It feels good to me, right? My investment's grown 200% since 2020. My XRP's grown 800%. But I don't rubberneck. I don't watch assets go up and down. I'm in this to build legacy wealth for my family. Markets go up and down. Businesses come and go. Cycles come and go. Technologies come and go. Markets go up and down. This is not different this time. The market is the market is the market is the market. It's just emotion. Somebody's winning, somebody's losing. So I pull profits. I do. Bitcoin, I'm never selling. Okay, that's legacy. I pull profits on my altcoins. As it goes up, 50%, I pull. I move some of it. First is max funding my insurance policies. That allows me to have a leverage category, which is L and Capital DR. Okay, I'm going to put 10% of the profit into more cash generating dividends to create more cash flow. The excess capital I will store for the red. And then I buy back into the assets that I believe are going to be here for the long term. And then I consolidate into, I'm going to be consolidating heavily into the top cryptos that I believe are going to be here. For me, it's XRP, Bitcoin, Solana are my top three. Number 4 is XLM. Number 5 is WLFI, HBAR, then VeChain. WFI is climbing pretty fast. I think by 2030, it'll probably be, for me, XRP by a long shot, Bitcoin and WFI. I believe in it, man. I do. I've been doing a lot of research on it. I've been studying. What I study is Robert Kiyosaki, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Cathie Woods, Ray Dalio. I've been watching and reading the Donald Trump's books, watching documentaries on how he operates, right? And how he operates and how he builds teams. And you got to study the people he's surrounding himself with, guys. I think that's really important. You can clearly see where the economy is going. You can clearly see how this is going to end. It's going to be very, 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 very bullish. And just like his life and cycle, there's going to be an inversion of that. It has to, guys. Nothing ever goes straight up. Okay, I think what's going to happen, and I'll put this on video, on recording this. I think what's going to happen, the next presidency is going to be run on inflation. Okay, because we're going to have low interest rates, printing of money. It's going to devalue the heck out of our currency. Money's going to flow like water. Remember the Roaring 20s? Okay, that's when margin was created in the Roaring 20s. Somebody invented margin, where you can margin your stocks. People are going to margin and leverage themselves, and then we're going to get rocked in 2029 with hyperinflation. That's what I believe is going to happen. So I'm going to make sure I'm positioned in fixed supply assets that beat inflation. Okay, that my family is set, and make sure that I'm on the wealth side of this quadrant, because a $9 coffee is going to be $20. And when you have tons of wealth and cash flow, you're not really affected by the $20 coffee. You make adjustments to your portfolio based on a $20 coffee. That's where we want to get to. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what I invented, the Capital DR strategy. I'm an educator. We do not invest people's crypto. Very, very careful, guys. That's not me DMing you on WhatsApp, not DMing you on Telegram. We're not get rich quick. We do not trade people's money. We do not invest people's money. We are educators. We educate people and empower people to understand how this works. Okay. But this right here, this is Merlin, smartest way to track your crypto. I'm the co-founder. Everything I talk about, I actually own. Okay. I'm the co-founder and creator of this company. So this is our assets page right here. We have all of our crypto in one place, keeps our cryptocurrency safe, right? There's no access to your crypto here. Okay. It's just an interface. That'd be a great way to say it, right? You can set up an exit strategy and see how we take profits in these markets, and it teaches you how to do it, right? Look at this. You got all your markets in one shot. You got your daily gains and losses, and you can download Merlin 30 days for free down below. You can try it before you buy it. All right. Well, that's what I got for you guys. Really appreciate you guys being here. I want to say thank you. So many of you guys are hitting that subscribe button. We come out with a video every single day, Monday through Friday, guys. I also have all my other social media channels. If you want to get in the vibe, get in the tribe, and you want a little bit more support, I have a free section on this YouTube channel where I do all the education. I teach you exactly what I'm doing. But if you need more support and you want deeper education and the framework, and where I show you everything that I do, you can join our Capital DR strategy down below by clicking the description of this video or my social media platform. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, let's get your shit together. Love you guys. God bless.